Marlin 614 says, I can bet on sports. Because that's what happened today. It's legal in the state of North Carolina. Now I'm wondering, Louis Fernandez, if we can actually bet on boats in the Big Rock tournament coming up next year.
If we can't,
well,
then we need to figure that out.
Then what are we doing?
Talk to the Lottery Commission.
Right? The Big Rock Blue Marlin Fishing Tournament taking place down in Morehead City today. Only 12 of 271 boats are out there on the water today. Again, you can only fish 4 out of 6 days, okay? So you have to take 2 days off, which gives us the opportunity to talk to a captain of one of the boats in the tournament. Joining us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline, Dallas Austin, captain and owner of the Sashimi. Dallas, my first question for you is this. Your name's Dallas Austin. Are you from Houston by chance?
Nope, not from Texas, but I get asked that every day.
I'm sure you do. Now, Dallas,
plenty of stories.
Take us into the life here of being a captain on in this tournament. Again, you can only fish 4 out of 6 days. How do you go about picking which 4 days? Are you looking at the forecast? Is a day-by-day decision? Like what goes into the decision?
Yeah, so the weather is always going to dictate that. It's so difficult to get 6 days in a row of beautiful fishing weather. That's pretty much unheard of. So we're constantly monitoring the weather, trying to pick the best out of the 6, just based on that. And then the other decisions are obviously where to go and that sort of stuff. And that's kind of a complex decision-making process there. And it's mostly a lot of guessing and intuition.
Dallas,
and hopefully ours gets better.
That's good.
Yes.
Dallas, I'm wondering because I think a lot of people don't understand the physical toll that it takes on someone to be out here and competing in some of these tournaments. When you're reeling in some of these massive fish, some of these massive blue marlin that are coming in, how long are you at that? How difficult is that process?
It can take an hour and a half, 2 hours, or all day long. It can be definitely a challenge. Just being on a boat all day is a challenge. I mean, that's rough on your knees, rough on your whole body, and not to mention all the time that the mates and the guys spend at the dock preparing baits. And, I mean, up at 3:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes up all night trying to resolve issues with the boat or tackle or gear. So it ends up being a very long week for the captain, the crew, and everyone involved.
Dallas Austin, captain and owner of the Sashimi, which is in the Big Rock Fishing Tournament. Joining us here on the Heister Automotive Group hotline alongside Louis Fernandez, Dennis Cox here with you. How far off the coast do you guys actually go?
It varies, and that goes along with, trying to predict where the fish are going to be, where the best bite is. And we look at sea surface temperatures and currents and all sorts of things to come up with what we think is going to be the hottest areas. And a lot of it is local knowledge and just being out there on the water all day, seeing what the conditions are. But, they're typically running anywhere from 40 to 60 miles. Sometimes guys will go across the Gulf Stream to the other side, which is called the Eastern Wall, and that could be anywhere from 100 to 130 miles off the coast one way. It's a lot of miles.
That's wild to think about. You're going 100 plus miles offshore to go catch one of these
fish. We just actually brought my boat back from the Bahamas, which was basically 1,000 miles last month.
That's a lot of miles. That's a lot of miles, Dallas. This is your 6th year fishing in the Big Rock, I believe, and the Big Rock is so unique because it's one of the biggest, it's one of the oldest. It's got a lot of history behind it. It's got a lot of this kind of glitz and glamour and all the money you can possibly win. Why did you get into fishing in the first place? How long has that been a thing for you?
I've been doing it most of my life as a hobby. I'm not a professional fisherman. I don't run a charter boat. A lot of guys down there that fish in the tournament, they run charter boats and boats for the owners, and that's what they do full time. That is not me. I have another business as well, but I fish as much as possible. But I've been fishing most of my life, as much as we can get down and fish. It's just so much fun, and a lot of it's the camaraderie. I've got a great crew, which are friends, and everyone brings a different attribute to the table, and they work their butts off to make everything happen. And it's just that is the biggest part of it for me is the friends, the support team, the fun that we have, not just on the water, but here at the dock. It's an outstanding week all the way around.
Dallas Austin, captain, owner of the Sashimi, which is in the Big Rock Fishing Tournament, joining us here on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. Dallas, my final question for you is this. In your experience of participating in this event, How much have you seen it grown, even just in the 6 years that you've been part of it?
Oh my gosh, it's grown tremendously. I mean, we're up $3.6 million in total prize money this year. I think the first year I fished, it was only a little over $1 million, I believe. I may not be correct, but it has definitely grown a lot. And we're in the outboard division. I got a 42-foot Invincible with 400 outboards on it. But that division has grown tremendously. It only began about 6 years ago, I think, and that's become really popular.
Dallas, I need you to bring in one of those 500-pound blue marlin sometime this week. Can you do that for me?
You got it. 600 or 700 would be even better.
There you go.
Make it happen. Let's go. Make it happen. Dallas Austin, captain of the Sashimi in the Big Rock Fishing Tournament. Thanks for your time, and best of luck, and be safe out there on the water.
Thanks, guys.
And that's Dallas Austin, captain and owner of the Sashimi, joining us here on the Keystone Automotive Group hotline.